Hi Bandeko, Привет, Bonjour, Mbote. Welcome to this video, guys. I am very excited for today's video, and as I told you earlier, I am trying my best to be consistent and to give you guys more content as much as I can so that we can learn from each other, so that we can become the best that we can be in different areas of our life. And especially in today's video, it is about the USMLE. As I said in my last video, if anyone had any comment or if anyone wanted me to do a specific kind of video, you should drop it in the comment. And there was a brother who left a comment and he wanted me to talk about the resources for step 2. As I did in one of my previous videos, I gave you guys the resources that I used for my step 1, and I had to rank them according to my own experience. So today I'm going to do something similar for the step 2. I am not really going to rank them, but I'm just going to give you those resources that I think from my experience were really helpful. And you can at the end give them a try and see if it's gonna work for you too. And yes, Bandeko, please don't forget to subscribe, to like, to comment and share. N'oubliez pas de vous abonner, de liker, de commenter, de partager. Ne zabuvaite pitpisat, isi like posta, vite komentovati, ipudilite zinchimi. And thank you so much for your love for the previous video. I've seen people reacting to it. I've also seen people texting me on Instagram and just telling me like, oh, after watching this video, I was motivated. Oh, after watching this video, I went to check your step 1 journey and I was really motivated. So this is the reason why I do what I do. It is because I want to touch someone. I want someone to be motivated and I want someone to know that he can do it. So yes, Bandeko, let's go for our resources for step 2. Approaching step 2 is going to be different than step 1. Step 2, it is the continuation of step 1. So it's not like step 1 and step 2 are totally different. No. It's like you are studying the basics for step 1, and now you need to apply those basics in step 2. What does that mean? Let's take an example. Maybe in step 1, you had to understand mechanism of action of a specific medicine, okay? Or you have to understand the pathophysiology of a disease. Now, in step 2 is like a next step. You need now to know, okay, I know the mechanism of action of this medicine. When can I use it? Let's talk about, for example, those drugs that are used to decrease your cholesterol, LDL, VLDL, and etc. Okay? So there are moments when you can use statins, there are moments when you can use fibrates. So imagine in step 2, you have to understand like, oh, when can I use statins and when can I use fibrates? You can be like, oh, when I see triglycerides, they are more than 1,000, I can use fibrates. But if they are less than 500, I can go with statins. This is just an example, okay? So step 2 is like the best next step management. Like you also have to know, for example, oh, when can I use an MRI? When can I use an X-ray? When can I use an ultrasound? You know, this is why it's very important for you when you're studying for your step 1 to really master concept, to really understand, so that when you come and approach step 2, you already have an advantage because you'll be like, oh, now I know how to diagnose things. Now I know how to approach things. I just have to know what is the best next step management. Should I just reassure the patient or should I hospitalize the patient? Those are the things that you will have to know for your step 2. For this, the first resource I'm going to talk about, it is Divine Intervention Podcast. I know people can say that, oh, there's a lot of information there. There are also people who say like, oh, I am a visual learner, so I prefer to watch so that I can pay more attention. You guys, I don't know if you heard that in my previous video, but I am a visual learner. I spoke about it during my step 1 journey. So I prefer to watch because I just pay more attention, and it's just the way I like to study. But sometimes if you encounter a resource that is like gold, that is like diamond, you can just throw it away. Divine Intervention Podcast, it is like diamond. It's a gold resource. I know you might be a visual learner. I understand that. But please, you need to adapt. You need to give it a try. Start little by little, okay? If it's hard for you to listen to it when you're in the gym or when you are walking, like me, it's hard for me to listen to it in the gym because in the gym, I want to listen to something that is going to boost me. I want to listen to Eric Thomas, Enki Johnson. You know, I can't really listen to Divine unless the only time I've listened to Divine Intervention in the gym, it is when I was close to my step. Because I couldn't, my brain was thinking about the step 2, step 2, step 2. So when I was like few weeks of my step 2, I was like, okay, let me just listen to Divine even in the gym. But it was hard for me. But if it's hard for you, you can dedicate like 30 minutes every day at home or in the library or in your time that you are studying for your step 2. Take maybe 30 minutes or 1 hour where you're just going to sit and listen and take note. And just listen to one episode per day. If you do that in the beginning of your step 2 preparation, you will be able to go through a lot of concepts, a lot of episodes. But if you are like now, you are watching this video, you're already in the middle of your process, or you have just 2 months to go, 3 months to go, I will tell you, just go through the rapid review series. There is a sheet, like a Word sheet and like online document on Reddit that you can look. And there are episodes, like there are step 1, step 2 CK, step 3, and all those things. And you can choose step 2, and you will see like internal medicine episodes, rapid review episodes, pediatric episodes for different systems, okay? So if you know that you're in the middle of your process, you're already 2 months to go for your step 2, and you are like, I don't have time to watch internal medicine, pediatric, OBGYN, surgery, just go to the rapid review series. Just start to listen maybe to 2 episodes per day, and just to go and to listen as much as you can. You can also go on Reddit, and there are some episodes, like specific episodes, where people are like, oh, those episodes are really high. They are very important to know. Like antibiotics, he has like, I think 3 or 4 episodes of antibiotics. For military, for example, he has like 2 episodes where he talks about like antibiotics, like screening for people that are in the military. Because in the USMLE Step 2, there are some questions about people who went, for example, he went to that country for military, and he came back to the US, and he's feeling like that, like this. What condition, for example, or how can we treat him, or what could we have done to avoid this condition? I know it is a lot. It has a lot of episodes, but believe me, divine intervention is good because divine explains. He doesn't just want you to memorize things, but he wants you to understand. This is what I like about him, because he's explaining things, because he wants things to make sense to you so that you cannot just memorize. So this is the reason why I want you to go through divine. It's not just because I'm like, you want to understand concept, because there is too much. The USMLE, there are too much things to know. There are too much things to memorize. If you can save some space in your brain to understand the concept, why won't you do that? So please give Divine Intervention Podcast a try. And I think that you're going to learn a lot. And when you will go and do your UWorld or do NBMEs, you're going to see a lot of concept that he was talking about. You'll be like, oh, Divine spoke about it. Oh, Divine spoke about it. Oh, and you're going to feel more comfortable approaching different concepts during your prep. Okay, Bandeko? This is the first resource. Second resource, I'm going to say Mailman Medical. I spoke about Mailman in my step 1 video. Mailman Medical has amazing PDF about different systems. And I went through them. Of course, they are heavy. It is a lot, but those are gold information. I prefer to review Mailman Medical PDF closer to the exam, like 2 months before the exam or 1 month before the exam, because I just feel it's more comfortable to do that instead of doing that at the beginning, because he has a lot of giveaway like answers, and you want to build the foundation first with like Divine or UWorld and other things, and after that you then come to Mailman just to be like, oh yeah, this thing I saw it, or this thing I saw it, or this thing I saw it in my NBME, or this thing I saw it in UWorld. You just gonna like, it's just like a revision, and just get some extra info from him, And if you think that it's too heavy, it's too much, at least choose the PDF on the subject where you are weak at. So if you are weak at OBGYN, just open step 2 CK OBGYN. Number 3 resource that I've used, it is Dr. Hayed. Dr. Hayed was also a very good resource. The only issue with Dr. Hayed is that some like screening stuff are outdated, so you need to review them. Go to the, how you call it, USP? US what? Oh God, let me look for it. US, found it. It is USPSTF, United States Preventive Services Task Force. So this is where you can find like screenings, okay? So when you are watching Dr. Hayed on YouTube, if you start to, for example, in family medicine, you're going to see him like talk about like screenings, or colon cancer, or breast cancer, how to screen those things. So he's going to give you some screening recommendations that are already outdated. So what you're going to do, you need to come to this USPSTF, and from there you can now check like, oh, what is now the age for colon cancer screening? What is now the age for breast cancer screening, And this is going to help you. But Dr. Hyde has good information, and I think this is something that you just have to just review also closer to your exam, like 1 month before, because there is just like, it says, what is this? You answer. Like you guys are answering together, you know, like it's very active. You don't just listen, you just watch. No, you need to be able to answer at the same time, you know, that you are practicing. I watched Dr. Hyde like, I don't know, maybe 8 times, to be honest. Before every NBMEs, I was just, you know, just watching again and again and again. So Dr. Hyde, amazing resource on YouTube for free. Just watch. Okay, Bandeko. Number 4, Anki. If you are coming out of step 1, going to step 2, it means that when you were studying for step 1, you were doing maybe Anki. Maybe because I think 90% of people do Anki when they study for the steps. So if you are like me and you made your Anki cards on your own, because I made my own Anki cards when I was studying for step 1. So I just wanted to review my own Anki cards of step 1, and I started to make new Anki cards for step 2. Because for my step 1, I think I had like 1,500 cards, and for my step 2, maybe I had like 800 cards or something like that. So Anki is going to be important because it's going to help you to review few concepts of step 1, because as I told you, step 2 is a continuation of step 1. You still need to review few things that you are like, oh, it was a little bit tricky during my step 1, and I couldn't really diagnose them. I couldn't really understand like the keyword, things like MI complications. What happened in the first 1 hour and like 3 to 4 hours, and after 1 day, after 2 days. Those things show up in step 1, step 2, and step 3. You need to know MI complications. But if you already made an Anki card for that specific topic, like MI complications, you won't have to make it again for step 2 if you see it in your, but you just have to go through it on your Anki card. So you continuing doing Ankis is just going to be helpful. It's just going to help you. You understand? So you keep doing Anki and you keep adding new Anki cards that you are studying for your step 2, things that you are like, oh, I would like to review it again and again and again. Those tables, those screening things, those approach. If someone has a stroke, how are you going to approach them? Things like cardiac arrest, you need to know, oh, does the patient has a pulse or not, and how you need to approach when they have a pulse, and when you need to approach when they are pulseless. You know, those kind of things. You need to make Anki cards so that you can review it again and again and again, so that you can understand the algorithm. During the exam, they will give you a question. Maybe it's the second step of the algorithm. Maybe it's the third step. Maybe it's not the first thing. It's not going to be just every time if someone has a stroke, they won't always ask you, oh, what do you have to do next? Non-contrast CT scan. Non-contrast CT scan. No. They can already give you the non-contrast CT scan result, and they ask you now, what should you have to do next? So you need to know the next steps. After non-contrast CT scan, what do you have to do next? What do you have to do next? For that, do some Anki. This is when Anki becomes important. Anki is not just about like you just taking people cards and you just review. I didn't like that. I understand if you think that it's time consuming to make your own cards. People have life, I understand. People have things to do. Some people are working while they're studying for their step 2. That's what I did. Some people have families, they have kids. So it's hard, I understand. Or some people are just more comfortable doing other Ankis. And I understand that. If this is what you want to do, it's okay. But if not, there are other ways how you can approach Ankis, is by making your cards and making sure you are specifically targeting what you want to study. Like this is a specific target. You know when you're making this Anki card, you know what you are looking for. And it's more helpful. That's what I think. But either way, just do what works for you. And please use Anki for this spaced repetition so that you can memorize those algorithm and screening, please. Number 5, I'm going to join those 3 resources because everybody knows them. It's not a secret, which are UWorld, NBMEs, Dr. Randy Neal. Dr. Randy Neal is for biostat, NBMEs to test your readiness, to see how ready you are, and UWorld. Please, Bandeko, those are very important. You do your UWorld and you take your NBMEs just to make sure that you are progressing, that you are getting closer and closer to your readiness to be able to write your exam, okay, Bandeko? And Dr. Randy Neal, as you guys know, biostat. I want to talk about something quick. CMS forms, Clinical Science Master Series. I have used the CMS forms, yes. I've used the more recent one. So I started with the more recent one and I was coming down. I think I did 2 or 3 CMS forms per subject, okay? So those are like subject specific. They are like NBMEs, but subject specific. Like you will have like OBGYN specific, you will have like family medicine, internal medicine, if I'm not mistaken. Sorry, I took my step like last year, August. So yes, I did some of them. Do I think they're important? I think in USMLE, everything is important. You know, I don't think that, no, I just need to do NBME, CMS are not important. I don't think. I think if you have an opportunity to increase your knowledge, to see more questions, why not? It's the same thing for UWorld and HEMBOS. If you feel like, oh, I want to do HEMBOS, I don't want to do UWorld, it's up to you guys. Like, or if you say you want to do both, it's just up to you. But we like to minimize resources because we want you to be focused to master them. Because if you have 10 resources, how will you be able to master them? You understand? So when you have like 4, 5, or 3 to 4, it's really comfortable for you to walk through them. You understand? Instead of you having like 7, 8. So, but if you want to do UWorld and after that you AMBOSS, it's up to you. If you say, I don't want to do UWorld, I want to do AMBOSS, as I said earlier, because maybe AMBOSS is cheaper. Having financial issues and you can't really afford UWorld, it's okay, do AMBOSS. There are people who just do AMBOSS and they pass, okay? Same thing for CMS form. If you're like, oh, I want to do CMS forms, do it. It doesn't hurt to see more questions, okay, Bandeko? But I'm not going to tell you that, oh, CMS forms are not important. The reason why I didn't put them in my list is simply because I did not use them as I had to. Like, I did not like go through all of them, thoroughly review them. No, I just had to do them just to be able to see more questions, to just be like, oh, I would like to see something that I haven't seen before. You understand? But believe me, no one should tell you like, oh, this thing is not important because this is the USMLE. You don't know what is going to show up there. So if you can see as much as you can, why not? Okay, Bandeko? Those were the resources that I've used. And yes, I think we are all different during this process. I think other people use different things, but I just have to share what I've used, and I hope that is going to be helpful. And as I said, I tried to explain to you why I've used those resources. There is a reason behind. It's not just like, oh, I just wanted to use it, just use it. No, it's because they were making sense to me, and there was a reason. Like I was like, okay, I'm targeting understanding. I'm targeting high yield. I'm targeting what can probably show up during my exam, you understand? And I was also targeting people experiences and people testimonies. Okay, Bandeko, thank you for watching the video. And I really, really hope that it was helpful. Please, 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 Bandeko, leave in the comment if you have any specific kind of video that you want me to do. And also, please just share this video with your friends, with people around. Please like, please subscribe so that we can grow together. I'm really trying my best to be consistent, and I want those videos to reach other people. And I want us to keep growing, you understand, so that we can affect people's life in the positive way. And I'll be more than happy to see people reaching their goals and telling me, Ibrahim, oh, today I matched, or today I passed my step 1, or I passed my step 2 because of your advice, you understand? Today I'm already seeing people telling me like, oh, because of you I was motivated, because of you I did it, and I'm really, really, really happy. Every time I see this message, I am excited, because I told you, if one person can decide to go and face this step because they've seen me doing that, I'm the happiest guy in the world. And the day I saw that doctor texting me on Instagram, I was happy. She just made my day. So guys, this is the reason why I'm telling you guys, please let us share, let us subscribe so that we can boost the algorithm, so that we can touch people. Okay, Bandeko? Thank you so much, Bandeko. I will see you in the next video. Have some faith, papi. Let's go.